tutorial, we left off at this stage right now. So before you do anything else, now this is very important. Please watch this. The pack that comes from the CD that I provided you is actually quite small. This front only measures 60 millimeters, and I want this to be around about 12 millimeters, right? Sorry, yeah, not 12 millimeters, 100 and maybe 120 millimeters or 130 millimeters. So let's adjust this. Okay, so first of all, before I do anything else, I want to go to File, and I want to Save As. I'm going to save this as package.ai and click on Save. I've already saved this before, so I'm just going to click on Replace, and it's going to ask me what options I want. So disable Create PDF compatibility, and everything else should be right. So click on OK, and now it's saved. What I want you to do now is I need you to go to the Layers palette, turn off the lock of those layers, so everything's unlocked. Press Command A, or on the PC, Control A, and then I want you to go over to this tool here, which is the Scale tool. Double click on it, and a dialog box is just on the other screen right now, so I've got to move it across. And in here, you need to type in the following. So 205%. Okay, so it's going to scale it up by 205%. Do not scale corners, do not scale strokes and effects. They need to be disabled, please. Click on OK. Now that box is the exact size that we want to have our pack. Okay, so now it is a standard size pack for, let's say, barbecue shapes, for example. If you want to make yours a little bit bigger, then change your percentage. Okay. Hopefully that's all good. All right, so my box, I don't know, my bread box is a bit of a small bread box. These are smaller rolls, like little herb bread rolls, so I can handle not having a humongous pack. Okay, so if you are doing a large flour pack, for example, like let's say a big loaf of bread, you might change it so that it is 400% in size. Okay, just remember though that if you have yours as bigger than A3, you might need to print 2 A3s when we get back, if we are going to be mocking this up, which I don't think we'll be mocking it up. Okay. Please do though, like when we get back, you can do it. It'll be an awesome folio piece for after year 12. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to go to the Select tool, and you'll notice that the page setup is too small. Okay, so I'm going to go over to this Page Artboard tool, click on that, and it brings up the artboard. I'm just going to drag the edges of this artboard so that it is a lot bigger. So that line of the artboard is not going to be a distraction for us. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom in, and we can now concentrate on putting in extra information. So for example, before we do this, let's turn on the lock for the cut and the crease. Okay, very important that you do that. Now if you don't see, if you are using a lot of dark colors and you don't see these blacks, then at any time you can adjust these strokes to a different color. Okay, so sometimes in the past I've used the color pink. So let's change this. So I'm just going to lock my design, go over to these two. Okay, I'm going to press Command A, and I'm just going to go over to the black color and change it to pink. Okay, change it to an opposite color to what you were going to be using, and then later on we can adjust it back to black. So let's lock those up again, and let's enable again our design layer. Okay, so now let's put some of the legalities in. You can actually see now that you can see our pack a little bit better. Now, legalities. We need to have a barcode. So to get a barcode, we're going to go to our our senior VCD folder, and field of design, communication design. Now in the base of this folder we have a barcode.ai file. I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to download. Yep, it's downloaded. What should we do with this file? Open with. So I'm just going to choose it. Choose Adobe Illustrator. Where are we? Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so it's going to open with Adobe Illustrator. Click on OK. It's going to bring up this file here. Okay, press Command A, Command C. Now, if you're on the PC, obviously, when I say Command, it means Control. Okay. And I'm going to go over here, making sure that I'm on my design layer. Now, you can have multiple layers here. You can say bottom flap layer. So I could do that. So I'm just going to click on New Layer. And I'm going to call this one here bottom tabs. Okay. All right. So press Command V. So this is going to go onto my bottom tabs, and I'm going to press on V or the Move tool, and I'm just going to drag this across over into about here somewhere. Okay. So obviously you need some gap in here. You need the gap to be at least a centimeter from the left-hand side, and from the top you need it to be at least 3 millimeters. Okay, so what you can do is you can bring this to the top there, go to this tool here, the selection tool, double click on that, and under horizontal have 0, and under vertical go to 3, change it to 3, and click on OK, and that is 3 millimeters below the bottom of the pack there. Okay, I can shift this across. Cool, so that is the barcode there. What else do I need? On the bottom here, I need best before, so I'm going to make a rectangle here, change the rectangle over so that it is default, make the stroke as none, so it's just white, because best before needs to be white as stamp. And I'm going to see how, if I move my, I'm just going to zoom in here. Jeez, I haven't had much sleep. Been worrying about you guys. Okay, so now if you go to the rectangle tool and you can draw, see how if I put my mouse over, so it is just above here, and it's actually giving me a hint of where the top of my barcode is. So I can click and drag, and I'm going to make my best before the same size, or the same height as my barcode, which is really cool. Okay, and in here, deselect it. Okay, and in here I'm going to use the type tool, and I'm going to click, then drag, and I'm going to type in, not lorem ipsum dollar sit emet, I'm going to type in here in caps, best before, and then do 2 spaces, DD, 2 spaces, MM, 2 spaces, YY. Okay, and that's all you need in that little bit there. And what happens is that in real life, they put a big stamp here. Okay, now if you want, you can reduce the size down to 2 centimeters high. So what is this right now? Let's have a look, properties, and it is height of 29. So I can click on this top part of the transform dialog just there, and it's going to modify this bottom bit so it goes up. So I'm going to go to height, type in here 20, press return, whoops, Command Z, because I've got this lock happening here. Okay, so turn the lock off, try it again, 20, boom. Okay, so that there is an industry standard height of that. Okay, cool. So we're getting there. We need to put other things in, but obviously we can add those things later on. What are the other legalities here? We need to have, for example, another box. I'm going to go to layers here, and I'm going to make a new layer here called middle face. So that is right across the middle of this whole face here. Okay, so, and I might actually lock this bottom layer here. So now on my middle face, I'm going to draw a box down here, and I need to put in my grams net. So my grams net is going to be 200. Now turn off the caps key. 200 G, and then space caps net. Okay. Now you can turn this into a white color if you wish. You can change it to white, and the type itself, you could easily have it so it's about 4 millimeters high if you wish. That is the minimum legal height. So let's check that out. So I'm going to zoom in here. And I'm going to draw a box that is 4 millimeters high. Okay, and it looks like I need to increase my type size. Okay, so I'm going to go double click on this, and I'm going to go to my properties, and I'm going to increase my type size. Now I'm just using Myrid Pro right now. Type size up to 16 point in size, and that'll do. I'm just going to delete this box. Okay, and I'm going to place this down here, fairly close to the bottom. Okay, cool. So that's that bit done. Okay, we also need, now these are just going to be placeholders right here. Okay, and you can fix these things up later on. I need to type in here, put in another text box, and I'm going to put caps lock on. Mangiamo, right, is the name of the company. Okay, and I'll also need to make another box which is going to be called herb bread. Okay, herb bread mix. Cool. So I'm really understanding what I need to put in to my design. Okay, now you need to actually look at a pack now and check out. So I'm just using a Shapes Barbecue flavor pack right now, and on one of the sides, not one of the sides, geez, on one of the sides of my pack, I need to place in the nutritional information. Now, I might use this side here, this right side here. Now, let's look at our packaging items again. So if we go to field of communication, I've now placed the barcode into packaging legal elements. Within here, I've got our barcode. I've got a font that you need to download and install. Okay, so please pause now, install the font. Okay, so now that you've installed the font, you can download also the package legal elements as well, all right? So you've already done the barcode. Now it's this you need to download. Okay, so let's click on this. So this here is the nutritional information, contact details, and all that type of stuff. Okay, so right click, download. Okay, so it's going to download. So I'm going to choose to open this up into Adobe Illustrator. Okay. Good. So it brings up this file. I'm going to press Command A to select it all. Command C to copy it. I'm going to go back to my pack now, and I'm going to be placing my legal information, all that type of stuff, on this side of my pack. Okay. So let's do this. So let's press Command V to paste it, and we notice that it won't fit on this side of the pack. Okay. Let's zoom out. And let's have a look around. On this side of my pack, I want to have other things in there, okay? So I don't want to exactly fill this up with a lot of nonsense, all right? Let's put some of those legal items down here, for example. Remembering that this part here of my pack is going to be the glue tab right here. That's where the glue is going to go, okay? And all this here is already filled up with stuff for the best before and that type of stuff. But we might be able to relocate some things down into here. So let's try that out. So later on though. So what I can do is I can rotate on mine I can rotate this into 90-degree counterclockwise, and I'm going to then be able to fit the nutritional information into that, which is really cool. I'm going to press Shift Command G to ungroup those elements, and I'm just going to reduce my size of my box down, so I've got a little bit of the pack, a little bit of the image of the pack wrapping around. Okay, so I'm just going to use that. Okay, I might put this contact us information, Command X, and I might put it over here. Whoops, I can't do that. I need to go to the rotate tool, and I need to rotate pressing Shift. Okay, so this information, if I wish, because it's some legal information I can modify slightly, I can turn this into white type. Okay, right. You notice that now it's cropping off a few bits of information. I can, for example, just move this across there so this matches up with that, and I can right click on this type, and I can go over to, where is it? Their font option, their text box options in this Illustrator. No, that's in InDesign. Okay, so what I can do is I'll just reduce this down to about halfway in the center, just there, and I'm going to duplicate it by pressing Shift, move it across, Option, and duplicate that across, and then I'm just going to remove that information. Okay, so I think I'm just missing Made in Australia, which can just stay there really. Alright, all good so far. Okay, so by the way, is now that you've installed Poppins typeface, before you put this text box and all the other stuff in, you can now change this over to Poppins typeface as well. Okay, so that'll be a good idea for you to do that, as well as this as well could be Poppins, that could be Poppins as well. I just did that earlier. So we see here that this information is fitting in quite nicely. I can place in some of the recycle logo and a few other things inside this if I wish, which is really cool. Alright, I'm just going to select that and the white box, press Command G to group it back together again, so I can place it in a better spot. Okay, so they're the legalities done and dusted for the pack. They're actually done now. Okay, I can now put in things like open other end in this as well. Okay, so I can place in here, for example, a bit of type here that says, in fact, yeah, I can just say, bring right down here, open, whoops, in caps, open other end. Okay, and that means that you know, you shouldn't be opening it from the base, from this base. Okay, here it is. So I've also got packaging other elements that you can download as well, and that'll give you the recycle logo and other odds and ends. Okay, so you don't have to type everything out. So let's download that, and we'll open this up in Illustrator as well. Where are we? Adobe Illustrator. There we go. Open. Yes. And here we have the recycle logo and all that type of stuff. Our 200 grams net and our best before dates. I just need these because I've already done these. Copy. And I'm gonna paste it in here. Okay. So obviously I want mine to be white on a black background. Okay, and I need to somehow move this around somewhere else. Okay, so what space do I have? I could place in, cut that. Okay, and I can place in open at other end. I can place that over here somewhere. Okay, and that way now I've got space to place in these items now. Okay, just making sure that they line up together. Cool. All right, and I obviously need to make this white. Cool. And that text is white as well. There we go. So hopefully everything's in there now. That pretty much is a pack that probably could be purchased in a store legally at the moment, but obviously you need to fix things up, you know, add all those other elements and principles that you had planned to place in. Now remember that this here is a glue space. That's a glue space. Okay, in fact, I'll make another layer, which is going to be called glue. The layer options is on the other screen, so I just typed it as being glue, and now I can use, let's say, a bright blue color, and I'm just going to draw a box just for the time being where those glue points are going to go, just so you don't accidentally place content into those spaces. Okay, glue's going to go there as well. Right, please delete those this layer before you print it though, but at least now I've just locked it, at least now you can see there's no space in there to actually put any content. Okay, so there you go, all set and done. Obviously please put more information and stuff in there. The last thing would be to make a mask of this whole thing of a 5mm border around all this. Okay, and that is called bleed. Okay, all right, thank you, bye.